Welcome back to World of Immersion. Today we're going to be ranking every single roller coaster at California's Great America. Sadly, this park will be closing sometime in the next couple of years, so we thought it would be a good idea to rank the rides before it does. This park doesn't have a ton of rides, but they have some great coasters. So let's get right into the video.
Coming in at number 9, we have Lucy's Krabby Cabbies, the main kiddie coaster for the park. This ride is really nothing much, it's just your classic kiddie coaster. Really nothing much to be said about this ride. But let's move on to number 8.
Coming in at number 8, we have Woodstock Express, the other kid coaster for California's Great America. This ride is slightly bigger than number 9, so that's why we ranked it higher. However, it's not much better, to be honest.
Coming in at number 7 is going to be Psycho Mouse. This is just your typical Wild Mouse coaster. It's not the best, but it's also not one of the worst. It's relatively smooth and has a fun layout. But other than that, there's not much difference between this and other Wild Mouse coasters. So that's why it comes in so low on our list.
Next up, coming in at number 6 is Grizzly. While this coaster has a mediocre layout, it is extremely rough, it is painful to ride, and there's barely any forces on this. Now, we understand that this roller coaster is very old. However, we've ridden roller coasters much older that are significantly better than this, such as the Giant Dipper at Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk or Blue Streak at Cedar Point. It ranks above some of the other rides just because it's slightly thrilling, but its roughness and painfulness just holds it back.
Coming in at number 5 is going to be Patriot, the park's B&M floorless coaster. This ride is the park's revamped version of their old stand-up coaster, Vortex, which was really awful. Granted, it was one of B&M's first ever coasters. But Patriot is a significant improvement to it. Having the floorless train just makes it significantly smoother, and it's a much more enjoyable ride this way. Still, it runs pretty rough and the elements aren't great, and it's a really short coaster too for what it is. But at least it's significantly smoother than Grizzly, and it provides some forces at least. So that's why we ranked it above the last coaster on the list. But let's move on to number 4.
Coming in at number 4, we have Demon. Now, while this Aero Looper is quite rough, it's not an awful ride. It has a lot of great forces, the elements are fun, and it provides a good amount of thrill. The ride's a bit short, but the great elements just make up for it. It's definitely on the smoother side compared to some other Aero Loopers we've been on, but it does not stand up to the top 3 of this park.
Alright, so we've made it to our top 3, and we think that Great America actually has a phenomenal top 3. To be honest, they have a much better top 3 than the majority of other Cedar Fair parks. Alright, but starting off our top 3, we have Flight Deck, the park's B&M invert. Now, while this ride is short, it packs a huge punch for what it is. It is one of the best first drops out of any B&M invert that I've been on. And that finale over the water is incredible. It's an extremely forceful and smooth ride compared to some other inverts we've been on. And I definitely prefer it over rides like Silver Bullet and Batman the Ride. The only thing holding this coaster back is its length. The ride is really short. It really doesn't have that many elements. So that's why it ranks lower than the other coasters in the top 3. But that being said, it is still an incredible ride and a must ride when you visit the park.
Now coming in at number 2, we have Gold Striker. This is a phenomenal GCI coaster. It has an insane amount of airtime, and the ride itself is extremely long. It has so many good elements, and it's a very intense and forceful ride. One thing we will say is it's gotten slightly rougher over the past couple of years, but it's still just an incredible ride. This is definitely our favorite GCI that's not a retrack. And for us, this coaster almost beats out number 1.
However, it is not in the number 1 spot, and that number 1 place goes to Railblazer, the newest coaster at the park. Railblazer is seriously an incredible coaster. It packs such a huge punch for such a small ride. Seriously, if you are in the back row, the airtime is so insane. It has some of the strongest ejector airtime I've ever experienced, especially on that first drop. That first drop in the back row is actually insane, and you just fly through those elements faster than any other coaster I've ever experienced. It's one of the whippiest and most intense airtime machines I've ever been on. Unfortunately, because of how small the train is, this ride has really low capacity, which means it gets an insane line all the time. So I would definitely recommend going here first if you get here on a crowded day. Luckily, I feel like this is going to be one of the few coasters that will be saved from Great America and moved to another park because of how small and transportable it is. However, which park that will be, I'm still not sure yet. But for now, it will be staying at Great America until the park closes. Seriously though, this ride is so incredible. The airtime is just insane on this ride. But that's going to do it for our video of ranking every single coaster at California's Great America. Now we know our list will definitely vary from other people's lists, so be sure to comment down below how you rank the coasters here at this park. This is one of my favorite parks and I'm really sad to see it go. But while it's still around, be sure to support the park as much as you can. And if you can get out here to visit Great America before it closes, be sure to do so. These rides are really fun and incredible. Thank you so much for watching our video today. Be sure to check out our other rankings of other parks on this channel, such as Six Flags Magic Mountain, and Knott's Berry Farm in Cedar Point. Thank you so much for watching World of Immersion, and we'll catch you in the next video.